In the past 7.5 years, I've worked with more than 300 sales professionals one on one and in group settings where I trained them on sales and sales psychology. From this experience and from all the research that I've done, I've discovered something shocking and also fascinating for sales professionals to consider if they want to reach their potential when it comes to sales. In this video, I'm going to reveal what I've discovered from training 300 plus sales professionals in the past 7.5 years, and this secret that really defines how much they can actually make as a sales professional and their ability to close deals and stay consistent with their income over a long period of time. My hope is that through sharing this video and walking through this framework, you as a sales professional understand what is really required to reach your potential and what are some useful shifts, tools, and resources that you can leverage to ultimately become the sales professional that you're capable of becoming.
You have considered what you'd be able to do if you were a master of persuasion and influence, right? You would have an easy time collecting what you're worth, and of course, effortlessly enjoying life too. Soon, you realize there is a version of you who is claiming their worth and easily living up to their potential, and we are here to help you in that journey. Welcome to Sales Secrets. We will reveal life-changing secrets for those of you who are ready to become the person you are destined to be, because it is time. We are programmers of the human psyche, and if you're carefully listening or watching now, we will show you the secrets to rewriting your reality. Till now, these secrets have only been available to those fortunate enough to exist within the proximity of true masters of persuasion and influence. Now, welcome to a new way of existing.
All right, let's go ahead and dive into this quick video for you guys. Like I mentioned before, what we're talking about in this video is why some sales professionals absolutely crush it and they are able to continually scale their income, make more commission, and then even take the commission that they're making and start investing into passive assets. Versus while other sales professionals continually struggle, you find individuals who are like offer hopping, they're jumping from opportunity to opportunity, and they seem to just continually stay on this hamster wheel as a sales professional. So, really, what I've discovered between those two situations and the difference between those two types of sales professionals comes down to a model and a framework that I want to share with you in this video today. Now, for those of you who really geek out like me and you like to dive into, deeper research and more of like the psychological science-based sides of selling, this is something that will really interest you and will probably want to look into further because it's a powerful model to follow. But I'm actually going to go ahead and use my awesome artistic skills to show you this model and actually draw it out for you. Now, this model is actually known as the Dilts Logical Levels of Change. So that's what this model is called. It was created by an individual named Robert Dilt. And essentially, what this model shows, or what it helps us with, is understanding how human beings change behavior. Now, looking at this model, how this model is actually broken down is into 6 sections of behavior change, with the sections at the top of the model being the most powerful and the quickest way to change behavior in a human being, while the lower or the lowest tier of this model is the slowest way to change behavior, but it's still an important area to look at. So once again, there's these 6 areas. Now, most sales reps, most trainers and consultants that you probably find out there on the internet, they already cover the first couple of layers, but they're missing the most important piece, which is one of the main pillars that I focus on when I consult companies, when I consult individuals, when I consult entire sales teams. And that's going to be the difference in why my actual training process would beat out some of the traditional sales training that you might experience out there. And really, this is the difference. Most of the mentors, coaches, gurus that you're finding, they're going to talk about the importance of your environment, which is really, really important, right? We know that from the 5 people that we surround ourselves with most, we start to become just like those 5 people. Well, same thing when it comes to sales and being a sales professional. You actually start to pick up the behaviors of the environment that you put yourself in. So if you want to sell more, you just naturally put yourself in bigger circles where people are doing bigger things and their sales professionals doing things that aren't even possible in your company, or you didn't even know were possible because you haven't yet considered it. So that's pretty common. We see that out there. Another area, though, is actually going to be in our actions, right? So this is really where people will come in and say, you just got to put up more numbers. They start to make sales a numbers game, right? Well, the problem with a numbers game is the more numbers that you get, the quality of your sales interactions go down and the less money that you actually make. So while you need more numbers to hit your goal, what happens is because you're shooting for a higher number and focusing more on quantity over quality conversations, you actually shift the quality of your conversations down a few levels, making it so you actually need more volume. And it's this vicious cycle that you may have experienced already as a sales professional. So that is primarily where most trainers will spend their time training. Some of them will get into this third level, which is your skill set. I think that those individuals and those trainers are some of the best people that you can learn from, because really, without developing that skill set, all of these actions are going to be empty and the quality is not going to be there to achieve the goals that you really want to achieve. Now, with all of this being said, this is the most important part of the model that individuals and that I find most sales reps don't get help with. And it's one of the biggest pillars that I actually focus on in my training, which is why I wanted to go over it in this video today, because all this research has shown those sales individuals, those sales professionals, whether you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a sales professional, 1099 or W2, the ones who absolutely crush it, they actually have this level. They have these top levels. Now, let me share with you what those levels actually are. The first level is actually your purpose or your mission. Okay. So the first thing that I find in high performing sales professionals, individuals who really go to the next level when it comes to their sales performance, is they know their purpose, or they've at least decided what their purpose is. And what they've done is they've tied that purpose to their identity as a sales professional. So now sales isn't just transactions and transacting an energy exchange between you and your prospect. Sales has a deeper purpose to that. And anytime that I find sales professionals defining a purpose and actually connecting that to who they are as a sales professional, that's the individuals that I find having the most success. So that's the first thing that I discovered. And the first thing that I actually help individuals work through in my one-on-one or group coaching offers. The second thing and the second level is your identity. Now, with this, I want to share kind of a shocking statistic, but statistics show that 39%, only 39% of sales professionals, meaning business owners, entrepreneurs, sales professionals, anyone who sells anything for a living, only 39% of them actually planned on having a career in sales. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because it inherently shows a disconnect between sales and their identity. So I would assume that 39% of sales professionals might have a little bit of resistance or self-sabotage when it comes to identifying as a salesperson. And they'll even tell themselves like, oh, I don't sell. Like what I do is I just help people make decisions, right? Like, and that's really the reframe that I used. And I even encourage my prospects to use and my clients to use if they're struggling to sell, is you can either reframe your identity so that you see yourself as a sales professional, or you can reframe what is actually the third level, which is your beliefs and values. Okay. So I actually had to change for me to become, to raise my level of performance as a sales professional and to get to those next levels that I didn't know were possible. I actually had to change what I believed about sales. In the past, I believed that sales had to be emotionally draining. I believed that you had to push people to make decisions. I believed that I didn't want to do it. And why would anyone want to get into sales? And these were all these beliefs I had around sales and the identity of a sales professional. Well, the way that I actually had to resolve this problem is change how I interpret sales and how I interpret myself as a sales professional. And ultimately, that's what helped me get to the next level. Now, to recap what we've gone over today, to really tie it all together and to leave you with some action steps to apply and implement what I've actually talked about, I want you to remember that the secret to performance as a sales professional, the ones who really crush it and really are able to scale their income and experience consistency when it comes to their career, and those individuals who continually struggle, maybe they jump from opportunity to opportunity, the secret and the difference between those two individuals is their identity. So what do they believe about themselves related to sales? And then also their belief about sales. So what do they believe sales to be? Now, for you to actually apply this and implement it, you're going to want to ask yourself a couple questions. Do I believe / want to be a sales professional? And if there's any resistance there, how can I resolve that? And then the second piece of this is, what do I believe about sales? And if there's any resistance there, you're going to have to go in and resolve that. But once you do, I promise you that the self-sabotage that you experience, or the inconsistency in motivation, your emotions, your behaviors, and ultimately your results, comes from changing and answering these two questions and really getting clear on, is my identity congruent with being a sales professional? Can I take on that identity? And then the second piece of this is, what do I believe sales to be? Once you handle those two areas, I promise you, in addition to working on your skill set, working on your behaviors, working on your environment, you're really going to be able to tap into your ultimate potential as a sales pro and be able to make the impact and the income that you have been destined to make. Now, if you found this video helpful, if you found this framework helpful, I want to encourage you to subscribe, to follow on my social media, because more of these trainings will be coming out on a weekly basis to help you take your performance as a sales professional to that next level of what you know is possible. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next training video.